Captain Lee Hyun stood on the bridge of his ship, looking at the stars through the big window. His ship was called the Harmony's Edge, and it was flying fast through space toward the Kelvari homeworld. Behind him, his crew worked at their stations, checking instruments and talking quietly. "How long until we get there?" Lee Hyun asked his pilot. 2 hours, Captain," the pilot said. "The Kelvari are still sending distress signals." Lee Hyun nodded. For 5 years he had been flying back and forth between the Kelvari and the Thessians, trying to help them solve their problems. The two alien races had been fighting over some planets, and humans were trying to make peace between them. Dr. Park Minji walked up to the captain. She was a smart woman who studied alien cultures and helped humans understand other species. "Captain, I have been reading the reports again. Something feels wrong about this whole situation." "What do you mean?" Lee Hyun asked. "The Kelvari and Thessians have been fighting for months, but their battles are strange. They never really hurt each other badly. It's like they are just pretending to fight." Lee Hyun thought about this. The Kelvari looked like giant insects with hard shells and many arms. The Thessians were made of crystal and could change their shape. Both races were much older than humans and knew a lot about space travel. "Maybe they are just tired of fighting," Lee Hyun said. "That's why we are here to help them make peace." Dr. Park Minji shook her head. "I don't think so. I have been studying their languages and messages. Sometimes they use words that don't make sense. It's like they are talking in code." Before Lee Hyun could answer, the communications officer called out, "Captain, we are getting a message from Earth. It's from Admiral Kim Tae-ho." "Put it on the main screen," Lee Hyun said. The face of Admiral Kim Tae-ho appeared on the big screen. He was an older man with gray hair and serious eyes. Behind him, Lee Hyun could see the busy command center on Earth. "Captain Lee, I have important news," the Admiral said. "We have reports of strange alien ship movements near our colonies. Many different species are moving their fleets, but they won't tell us why." "What kind of movements?" Lee Hyun asked. "Big ones. The Zephyrians, the Mulkari, the Vextai, and at least 9 other species have moved warships near human space. When Ambassador Choi Jina asked them about it, they said it was just training exercises." Dr. Park Minji grabbed Lee Hyun's arm. "Captain, what if the peace talks are a trap? What if they want to keep us busy while other aliens do something else?" Lee Hyun felt cold. Humans had been helping alien species for 30 years. They built hospitals, taught farming, stopped wars, and shared their technology. Most aliens seemed to like humans and asked for their help often. "Admiral, should we come back to Earth?" Lee Hyun asked. "No, finish the peace talks first. But be careful. Something big is happening and we don't know what it is yet." The screen went dark. Lee Hyun looked at Dr. Park Minji. "Get all our security teams ready and start recording everything the Kelvari and Thessians say and do." 2 hours later, the Harmony's Edge reached the Kelvari homeworld. It was a brown planet with many cities that looked like giant anthills. Thousands of Kelvari ships flew around the planet, much more than usual. "That's a lot of ships for a peace meeting," Dr. Park Minji said. Lee Hyun opened communications with the planet. "This is Captain Lee Hyun of the human ship Harmony's Edge. We came because you asked for help," a Kelvari voice answered. It sounded like clicking and buzzing, but the computer translated it into human language. "Welcome, Captain Lee. Please come to the main meeting hall on our planet. The Thessians are already here." "Understood. We will send down a shuttle." Lee Hyun, Dr. Park Minji, and 6 human security guards took a small shuttle down to the planet. The meeting hall was huge, made of the same brown material as Kelvari anthill cities. Inside they found 20 Kelvari leaders sitting around a big table. The Kelvari looked scary with their bug-like faces and sharp claws, but humans had worked with them for years. On the other side of the table sat 10 Thessians. They looked like walking crystals that changed color when they moved. Their leader was tall and blue, with a voice that sounded like music. "Humans," the Thessian leader said, "we are ready to sign the peace agreement." "That's wonderful news," Lee Hyun said. "Dr. Park has prepared the documents." Dr. Park Minji put the papers on the table. She had spent weeks writing them, making sure both sides would be happy. The agreement would give some planets to the Kelvari and some to the Thessians. Humans would help both sides build new colonies. The Kelvari leader picked up the papers with one of his claws. "This looks good. But first we have a question for you." "What question?" Li Hyun asked. "How many human colonies are there now?" Dr. Park Minji answered. 23 colonies in different star systems. About 15 million humans live on them. The Thessian leader made a sound like breaking glass. "And how many warships do humans have?" Li Hyun felt worried. "Why do you want to know about our military?" "Just curious," the Kelvari leader said. "You humans are always talking about peace. We wonder if you even remember how to fight." Suddenly, all the Kelvari and Thessians started making loud noises. The Kelvari clicked and buzzed while the Thessians rang like bells. It took Li Hyun a moment to realize they were laughing. Dr. Park Minji grabbed her tablet and quickly checked something. Her face went white. "Captain, I just picked up transmissions. They're not speaking to us, they're speaking to someone else." "Who?" "Ships. Lots of ships. All around human colonies." The Kelvari leader stood up. "Thank you, humans, for being so helpful. You made this very easy for us." "Made what easy?" Li Hyun demanded. "Finding all your colonies, counting your ships, learning your weaknesses." The Kelvari's eyes glowed red. "Did you really think we were fighting each other? We have been friends for months. We just needed to keep you busy while our real friends got ready." Li Hyun's communicator started beeping with emergency signals. "Captain," his ship called, "we're picking up massive alien fleets near all human colonies, 12 different species. They're not responding to our messages." Dr. Park Minji looked at her tablet. Her hands were shaking. "Captain, they're attacking." "New Sol colony. 2 million people live there." The Thessian leader's crystal body turned red. "Your peacetime is over, humans. You have grown too strong. Other species are afraid of you, so we decided to fix the problem." "You're making a mistake," Li Hyun said. "Humans are peaceful. We help people." "That's the problem," the Kelvari leader said. "You help too much. You make other species depend on you. That gives you too much power. Better to remove you now before you become dangerous." Li Hyun's communicator screamed with more emergency signals. "New Sol colony is gone," his ship reported. "They glassed the whole planet. The colony was broadcasting surrender signals, but they destroyed it anyway." Li Hyun felt something break inside his chest. New Sol colony was full of families, children, teachers, doctors. They grew food and made art. They had never hurt anyone. "You killed civilians," he said quietly. "We killed a threat," the Thessian leader said. "Don't worry. We will make it quick for the other colonies too." Dr. Park Minji was crying, but her voice was angry. "Those were innocent people, children. Children grow up to be soldiers," the Kelvari leader said. "Better to stop the problem early." Li Hyun looked at the aliens around the table. For 5 years, he had treated them like friends. He had brought them gifts from Earth. He had learned their languages and customs. He had worked day and night to solve their problems. Now he understood. They had never seen him as a friend. They had seen him as a fool. "Dr. Park," he said quietly, "send a message to Earth. Tell them what happened here." "What should I say?" Li Hyun looked at the laughing aliens. "Tell them the peace is over. Tell them it's time to remember who we used to be." President Nam Ji-woo sat in the emergency meeting room, deep under the Earth's capital city. Around the big table sat the most important people in human space: military leaders, scientists, colony governors, and intelligence officers all looked at the screens showing the disaster. "How many colonies have we lost?" President Nam asked. General Yoon Seok-jin, who had been teaching alien farmers how to grow better crops just yesterday, now wore his old military uniform. "New Seoul is completely gone. Harmony Station and New Tokyo are under attack. The aliens are moving faster than we expected." "What about our fleet?" President Nam asked. Admiral Kim Tae-ho pointed at a map of human space. "We have 47 ships spread across 23 systems. They were built for exploration and science, not war. The alien fleets have over 300 warships. Engineer Oh Dae-hyun raised his hand. He was a quiet man who designed the engines for human spaceships. President Nam, there is something you need to know. Something we have kept secret for 30 years. What secret? Oh Dae-hyun looked nervous. Our ships are not really exploration vessels. I mean, they can explore and do science, but that's not their main purpose. President Nam stared at him. What are you talking about? After the old wars, before we joined the Galactic Federation, the military made me design a new kind of ship. They look peaceful on the outside, but inside they are warships. We have been building them for 30 years, telling everyone they were for research. General Yoon Seok-jin smiled for the first time that day. Oh, Dae-hyun, you beautiful genius. How many real warships do we have? All of them, Oh Dae-hyun said. Every single human ship can fight. The Prometheus alone has enough weapons to destroy a planet. The Prometheus, President Nam said. That's our mobile university. It teaches alien students. On the outside, yes, Oh Dae-hyun said. On the inside, it's the most powerful warship ever built. It has been hidden in plain sight for 20 years. Captain Bae Suna walked into the room. Her clothes were torn and burned. She had just escaped from New Seoul Colony in a small ship. President Nam, I need to tell you what really happened. Everyone looked at her. Captain Bae Suna had been a Special Forces soldier before she became a colonial administrator. She was tough and smart, but now she looked broken. The aliens didn't just attack us, she said. They played with us. When New Seoul tried to surrender, they laughed. They said humans were too stupid to be dangerous. They said we were pets that had forgotten our place. How many people got away? President Nam asked gently. Maybe 10,000 out of 2 million. Captain Bae Suna said. They killed the children first. They wanted us to watch. The room went very quiet. These were good people who had spent their lives helping others. They built schools, hospitals, and farms. They had almost forgotten that. Humans used to be warriors. President Nam stood up slowly. Engineer Oh, how long to activate our real fleet? The ships are already armed. We just need to give the crews new orders and remove the fake outer hulls. General Yoon, how long to train our people for war? General Yoon Seok-jin laughed, but it was not a happy sound. Train them? President Nam, we never stopped being soldiers. We just pretended to be farmers and teachers. Every human colony has military training. We called it emergency preparedness and physical fitness. Dr. Song Yoonji, the head of human weapons research, spoke up. President Nam, there is something else. The aliens think they know our technology, but they don't. We have been developing new weapons in secret. What kind of weapons? The kind that can turn stars into bombs, Dr. Song Yoonji said quietly. We call it Soulfire technology. Every alien homeworld has a human research station near their star. They think we are studying solar energy. President Nam felt a cold feeling in her stomach. Are you saying we can destroy their stars? Yes, we can make any star explode, but that would kill billions of innocent people. Captain Bae Suna slammed her fist on the table. They killed our children. They laughed while they did it. Why should we care about their people when they don't care about ours? Because, President Nam said, we are still human. We don't kill innocents, but we will kill anyone who threatens our families. She turned to Admiral Kim Tae-ho. Send messages to all human colonies and ships. Tell them the truth about what we really are. Tell them it's time to take off the masks. What should I tell them exactly? Admiral Kim asked. President Nam thought about the children who died on New Seoul. She thought about 30 years of helping alien species who had been planning to betray humans all along. She thought about Captain Lee Hyun and Dr. Park Minji, who were probably dead or captured. Tell them this, she said. For 30 years, we pretended to be peaceful because we wanted to believe other species could be like us. We were wrong. They see our kindness as weakness. They kill our children and laugh about it. So we will remind them why humans used to own half the galaxy before we decided to be nice. General Yoon Seok-jin was already putting on his battle gear. What are our orders, President Nam? Find every species that attacked our colonies, find their leaders, their fleets, their homeworlds. Then show them what humans do when we stop being nice. And if they surrender? Admiral Kim asked. President Nam looked at Captain Bae-suna, who was crying but also angry. They didn't accept our surrender. Why should we accept theirs? Engineer Oh Dae-hyun was typing fast on his computer. President Nam, I'm sending activation codes to all our ships now. The crews will know what to do. Across human space, something amazing and terrible began to happen. Ships that looked like peaceful research vessels started to change. Outer hulls fell away like old skin, showing the war machines underneath. The mobile University Prometheus revealed massive weapon arrays that had been hidden for decades. On the agricultural world of New Busan, farmers put down their tools and picked up weapons they had kept hidden in their barns. Teachers became soldiers. Scientists became engineers of war. Children were moved to safe bunkers that had been built during earthquake preparations, but were really designed to survive alien attacks. Dr. Song Yoonji contacted her research teams across the galaxy. Begin Operation Sunfire, she told them. Activate all solar monitoring stations. Target alien homeworld stars. Do not fire until ordered, but be ready. In the secret military command center, President Nam watched as reports came in. The human fleet was growing larger by the hour as hidden weapons came online. Each ship revealed enough firepower to match 10 alien vessels. How long before we are ready to fight back? She asked. We are ready now, General Yoon said. We have been ready for 30 years. We just didn't want to use it. President Nam opened a communication channel to all human worlds. Her face appeared on screens in homes, schools, and workplaces across 23 star systems. My fellow humans, she said. Today, aliens who we trusted and helped have attacked our colonies. They killed our families while we offered them peace. They think we are weak because we choose to be kind. She paused, looking directly into the camera. They are about to learn the difference between choosing to be peaceful and being unable to fight. For 30 years, we have been the galaxy's teachers, doctors, and peacekeepers. Starting today, we will be what we were before, the galaxy's most dangerous predators. The message ended, but across human space, something had changed forever. The humans who had spent decades growing food and building schools were remembering older skills their grandparents had used to conquer star systems and make alien empires surrender. Captain Bae-suna looked at President Nam. When do we start? We already have, President Nam said. Send a message to Captain Lee Hyun if he's still alive. Tell him help is coming, and tell him that when we're done, no alien will ever think humans are harmless again. In space, the first human warship revealed itself. The research vessel Morning Star dropped its fake outer shell and became the dreadnought it had always been. Its captain sent a simple message to the alien fleets attacking human colonies. You wanted to see what humans look like when we stop being nice. Here is your answer. Admiral Kang Min-ho stood on the bridge of the Prometheus as it finished dropping its disguise. For 20 years, this ship had looked like a peaceful mobile university. Alien students had come here to learn human science and culture. They had eaten in the cafeteria, slept in the dormitories, and attended lectures in the classrooms. Now those same classrooms were weapons control centers. The cafeteria had become a strategic command room. The dormitories were barracks for human soldiers who had been disguised as teachers and researchers. All systems ready, Admiral, his weapons officer reported. We have 15 kilometers of ship armed with enough firepower to level a continent. Admiral Kang Min-ho nodded. Around him, his crew worked with practiced efficiency. These were not scientists pretending to be soldiers. These were soldiers who had pretended to be scientists for decades. Communications, send a message to all alien fleets attacking human colonies, he ordered. What message, sir? Tell them that school is now in session, and today's lesson is about what happens when you threaten human children. Across human space, 46 other ships were going through the same transformation. The research vessel Deep Thought became the battleship Hammer of Earth. The agricultural transport Greenfields revealed missile launchers and plasma cannons. The medical ship Healing Hand showed weapons designed to cripple enemy vessels without destroying them completely. Dr. Song Yoonji worked in her laboratory on Earth, but it was not the kind of laboratory most people would recognize. Hidden deep, underground, it contained weapons that could destroy entire star systems. She had spent 30 years perfecting technology that could make stars explode. Dr. Song, her assistant said, "We have confirmed that all Soulfire stations are in position. Every alien species that attacked us has a human research station near their home star." Dr. Song Yoonji smiled coldly. Perfect. For years, they thought, we were studying their stars to learn about solar energy. They even thanked us for choosing locations so close to their planets. Should we activate the Soulfire weapons? Not yet. First, let them see what our conventional weapons can do. I want them to surrender before we have to destroy entire worlds. In the Kelvari system, Captain Lim Woojin prepared for the first real test of human military power. His ship, the Thunder of Justice, had been disguised as a cultural exchange vessel. For 5 years, it had brought human art and music to Kelvari worlds. The aliens had loved human movies and songs. "Captain, we have 50 Kelvari warships approaching," his tactical officer reported. "They're sending a message demanding our surrender." "What do they say?" Captain Lim asked. "They say humans are weak and that resistance is useless. They want us to accept defeat like the other human colonies did." Captain Lim Woojin laughed. "Send them a reply. Tell them that the other human colonies were not fighting back because they were waiting for orders. Now they have those orders." "Sir, should I mention that we're not really a cultural ship?" "No. Let them figure it out themselves." The Kelvari fleet moved closer, their ships arranged in a battle formation they had used for centuries. Each Kelvari ship was armed with plasma weapons, and protected by thick armor. They had conquered dozens of worlds using these tactics. "Captain, they're preparing to fire," the tactical officer said. "Excellent. Now let's show them what human ships really look like." The Thunder of Justice dropped its final disguise. The outer hull that looked like a peaceful transport fell away in pieces, revealing a sleek warship underneath. But this was not just any warship. Human engineers had spent 30 years studying alien tactics and building ships specifically designed to counter them. "All weapon systems online," the weapons officer reported. "We have target locks on all 50 enemy ships." "Fire," Captain Lim ordered. The Thunder of Justice unleashed a barrage of weapons the Kelvari had never seen before. Railguns fired projectiles at incredible speed. Plasma beams cut through alien armor like paper. Missiles that could think for themselves found weak spots in enemy ships and exploded with perfect timing. In less than 2 minutes, 30 Kelvari ships were destroyed or disabled. The remaining 20 tried to retreat, but human weapons were faster than Kelvari engines. "Captain, the enemy commander is sending a surrender message," communications reported. "Do they accept responsibility for the attack on New Sol Colony?" Captain Lim asked. "They say it was necessary to prevent human expansion." "Then they don't really surrender." "Finish them." 14 minutes after the battle began, the entire Kelvari fleet was destroyed. Captain Lim Woojin sent a message to Earth. "First engagement complete. Enemy eliminated with 0 human casualties. Proceeding to the next target." On Earth, General Yoon Seok-jin coordinated the larger campaign. He had spent 20 years teaching aliens how to farm and build cities. Now he was using that knowledge to destroy their military forces with surgical precision. "Colonel An Jasu, what's the status of your special operations?" he asked. Colonel An Jasu appeared on the screen from her stealth ship. "Sir, my teams are in position throughout alien space. We have been using the cultural exchange programs to map every enemy military installation." "How many targets?" "Over 3,000. Every major weapons factory, fleet base, and command center. The aliens never suspected that our cultural ambassadors were also intelligence officers." General Yoon nodded. "Begin Operation Ghost Strike. Take out their ability to build new weapons or coordinate their fleets." Across the galaxy, human special forces teams that had been disguised as artists, teachers, and diplomats revealed their true purpose. They had spent years learning alien languages, studying alien technology, and mapping alien defenses. Now they Use that knowledge to sabotage enemy installations with deadly efficiency. On the Thessian homeworld, a human art professor activated explosives that destroyed the planet's main shipyard. On the Molkari capital, a human cultural attaché used computer viruses to crash the alien fleet command system. On 12 different worlds, humans who had been trusted guests became the most effective saboteurs in galactic history. The aliens began to realize they had made a terrible mistake. For 30 years, they had watched humans build a peaceful civilization. But they had not understood that humans were also building the most sophisticated military intelligence network the galaxy had ever seen. Dr. Song Yunji received reports from her Soulfire stations throughout alien space. Dr. Song, the Zephyrian, government is requesting communication, her assistant said. What do they want? They want to discuss terms for ending hostilities. Dr. Song Yunji checked her instruments. The Zephyrian star was ready to be turned into a weapon if necessary. Tell them they can surrender unconditionally, or they can experience what happens when their star becomes a supernova. They say they didn't know humans were capable of such violence. Then they weren't paying attention to our history. Send them our complete military records from before we joined the Federation. Let them see what we did to the Andromedan Empire and the Rigel Confederacy. Admiral Kang Minho coordinated the fleet movements from the Prometheus. His ships moved through space with a precision that amazed even the humans aboard them. Every captain knew exactly where to go and what to do. Every weapons officer had studied alien ship designs for decades. Every tactical decision was based on intelligence gathered during years of peaceful contact. Admiral, we have confirmation of successful strikes against the Vextai, Helionar, and Drakmori fleets, his operations officer reported. Total enemy losses exceed 200 ships. Human losses are minimal. What kind of minimal? 3 ships with minor damage. No casualties. Admiral Kang Minho felt proud of his people. Human ships were not just better armed than alien vessels. They were better designed, better crewed, and commanded by officers who understood both war and peace. Send a message to all remaining enemy fleets, he ordered. Tell them they have one chance to surrender. If they refuse, we will demonstrate why humans conquered half the galaxy before we decided to be peaceful. The message went out to alien commanders throughout the war zone. Many of them remembered the old stories about human expansion, back when Earth's fleets had seemed unstoppable. They had thought those stories were myths, tales of a primitive species that had somehow gotten lucky. Now they realized the stories were true. Humans had not gotten lucky. They had been the most effective warriors in the galaxy. They had only stopped conquering because they chose to be peaceful, not because they had lost the ability to fight. On the bridge of his command ship, Admiral Kang Minho looked at the tactical display. Alien fleets were surrendering across human space. Some species were fleeing back to their homeworlds. Others were sending desperate messages asking for mercy. Admiral, what should we do about the Kelvari homeworld? His tactical officer asked. They're requesting terms for surrender. Admiral Kang Minho thought about New Sol Colony. He thought about 2 million humans who had died while broadcasting surrender signals. He thought about children who had been killed first so their parents would suffer more. Tell the Kelvari that we accept their surrender, he said. Then tell them we're coming to their homeworld anyway. They need to understand that threatening human children has consequences that last forever. Fleet Admiral Go Young-soo stood in the main command center on Earth, watching as the galaxy burned. On the big screens around him, real-time reports showed human fleets destroying alien military forces across dozens of star systems. What had started as revenge for New Sol Colony had become something much larger. Admiral, we have received surrender offers from the Helionar Republic, the Drakmori clans, and the Outer Rim Alliance, his communications officer reported. They all claim they were forced to attack us by other species. Fleet Admiral Go Young-soo did not look away from the screens. Did any of them try to warn us before attacking our colonies? No, sir. They all participated willingly. Then their surrender offers are rejected. Continue with Operation Reckoning. Operation Reckoning was the largest military campaign in human history. Every species that had attacked human colonies would face complete destruction of their military, forces. But this was not random violence. Human intelligence officers had spent 30 years learning exactly how to hurt each alien species most effectively. Commander Shin Hana led the assault on the Thessian home system. Her fleet of 12 human warships faced over 100 Thessian vessels, but the battle was already over before it began. The Thessians had made their ships to fight other crystal-based life forms. They had no defense against human weapons designed specifically to shatter crystal structures. "All ships begin the Cleansing Flames protocol," Commander Shin Hana ordered. The human ships spread out in a pattern the Thessians did not recognize. Then they began firing weapons that created sound waves. To humans, these were just vibrations. To crystal-based aliens, they were death itself. The Thessian ships began breaking apart as the sound waves made their crystal hulls resonate and shatter. In 10 minutes, the entire Thessian fleet was reduced to glittering dust floating in space. "Commander, the Thessian homeworld is asking for mercy," her communications officer said. "They're offering to pay reparations for the colonies they destroyed." Commander Shin Hana thought about the children who had died on New Sol. "Tell them this. You wanted to see what humans do when we stop being nice. We don't accept money for the blood of our children." She opened a channel to the planet below. "Thessian leadership, you have 1 hour to evacuate all civilians from your military installations. After that, we will demonstrate what human weapons can really do." On the planet, panic spread as the crystal beings realized their entire space fleet had been destroyed in minutes. They had thought their technology was superior to human science. They had been wrong about everything. Meanwhile, Specialist Kwon Dong-yun worked in the Information Warfare Center, using his computers to tear apart alien civilization from the inside. For years, he had helped build communication networks for alien species. Now he used those same networks to spread chaos. "Specialist, what's the status of the psychological warfare campaign?" Fleet Admiral Go asked. "Sir, we are broadcasting the recordings of alien leaders planning genocide against humans. Their own people are seeing how their governments talked about killing human children. Many alien worlds are experiencing civil unrest. Kwon Dong-hyun had access to every alien communication system because humans had helped build them. The aliens had trusted human engineers to make their computers and networks. Now those same systems were being used to show alien civilians exactly what their leaders had planned. We also have recordings of the Kelvari and Thessians laughing about New Sol colony," Kwon Dong-hyun continued. "When their people see these videos, many are refusing to support the war. Good. Make sure every alien in the galaxy sees what their leaders really think about genocide." Captain Jung So-young commanded the deep strike operations that attacked alien homeworlds directly. Her ships moved through space using technology the aliens had never seen before. Human scientists had developed new forms of faster-than-light travel while pretending to study peaceful space exploration. "Captain, we have reached the Molkari capital system," her navigator reported. "Their defense fleet is waiting for us." Captain Jung So-young looked at the enemy formation. 300 Molkari warships arranged in defensive positions around their homeworld. It looked impressive, but she knew something they did not. "Are our intelligence assets in position?" she asked. "Yes, Captain. Every Molkari military base has human cultural advisors. They're ready to activate. For 15 years, humans had been helping the Molkari improve their military technology. The aliens thought they were getting friendly advice from peaceful humans. They never realized that every improvement came with hidden weaknesses that only humans knew about. Signal our people on the planet. Begin Operation Backstab. Across the Molkari homeworld, humans who had been trusted military advisors activated computer viruses they had built into alien systems. Defense satellites turned off. Weapon systems stopped working. Communication networks crashed. The 300 Molkari ships found themselves blind and helpless as human warships appeared around them. Ships that could move faster and hit harder than anything the aliens had ever imagined. "This is Captain Jung So-young of the human fleet," she broadcast to the aliens. "For 15 years, my people helped you build your defenses. We made them strong enough to protect you from other aliens. We did not make them strong enough to protect you from us. The Molkari fleet tried to fight, but their weapons could not lock onto human ships. Their shields could not stop human weapons. In 30 minutes, their entire space navy was destroyed or captured. Dr. Song Yoon-ji monitored the war from her laboratory, watching as her soulfire weapons remained unused. The threat of turning alien stars into supernovas was proving more effective than actually using the weapons. "Doctor, the Drakmori are requesting a meeting to discuss surrender terms," her assistant reported. "What kind of terms?" "They want to negotiate a peace treaty that lets them keep their government and military." Dr. Song Yoon-ji laughed coldly. "Show them what happens to their star if they refuse complete surrender." Her technicians adjusted the soulfire array near the Drakmori home star. The star began to burn brighter and hotter. On the alien homeworld, temperatures rose by 10 degrees in 1 hour. "Doctor, they're sending frantic messages asking us to stop. Tell them we will stop when their entire military surrenders and their government steps down. They have 6 hours before their star goes supernova." It took the Drakmori 3 hours to surrender completely. Their government dissolved itself rather than risk the destruction of their homeworld. Dr. Song Yoon-ji made note of their quick decision. Fear was proving to be humanity's most effective weapon. Fleet Admiral Go Young-soo received reports from across the galaxy. Human forces were winning every battle, but the aliens were finally starting to coordinate their resistance. The remaining free alien species were forming an alliance to fight against humanity. "Admiral, we have confirmed that 18 alien species have formed the emergency coalition against human expansion," his intelligence officer reported. "They're gathering their combined fleets at the Nexus station." "How many ships?" "Over 1,500 warships from different species. It's the largest alien fleet in galactic history." Fleet Admiral Go smiled. "Perfect. We can finish them all at once instead of hunting them down separately." He opened a communication channel to all human fleet commanders. "All ships prepare for the final battle. The aliens have decided to make this easy for us by gathering in one place." Commander Shin Hana responded from the Thessian system. "Admiral, my forces have finished here. The Thessian military no longer exists." Captain Jung So-young reported from the Mulkari homeworld. "Enemy capital secured. Their government has surrendered unconditionally." Admiral Kang Minho called from the Prometheus. "Sir, we're ready to deploy the gravitational weapons." "Gravitational weapons?" the intelligence officer asked. Fleet Admiral Go nodded. "Dr. Song's people have been busy. We can now create artificial black holes that collapse entire fleets. The aliens think they know about human technology, but they've only seen our peaceful applications." He looked at the tactical display showing the alien coalition fleet. 1,500 ships from 18 different species, all gathered at Nexus Station to make their final stand against humanity. "Send them one last message," he ordered. "Tell them they have one chance to surrender. After that, we will demonstrate why humans used to rule half the galaxy." The message went out to the alien coalition. For several hours there was no response. Then the alien commander replied with a single word: "Never." Fleet Admiral Go Young-soo nodded slowly. "So be it. Begin the final phase of Operation Reckoning. Show them what human weapons can really do." In space around Nexus Station, something terrible and beautiful began to happen. Human ships that had been hidden throughout the galaxy suddenly appeared, surrounding the alien coalition. But these were not the ships the aliens had been fighting. These were the true human war machines, built in secret shipyards hidden in empty star systems. Ships armed with weapons that could tear holes in space itself. Ships commanded by humans who remembered what their species had been before they chose to be peaceful. The final battle of the war was about to begin, and the aliens were about to learn why their ancestors had once feared the name human above all others. 6 months after the final battle at Nexus Station, Emperor Lee Jung-ho stood on the balcony of his new palace on Earth, looking up at the stars. The same stars that had once seemed so friendly now belonged to humanity. All of them. The battle of Nexus Station had lasted exactly 47 minutes. 1,500 alien warships from 18 different species had faced 200 human vessels. When it was over, the alien coalition fleet was completely destroyed, and humanity had not lost a single ship. The aliens finally understood what their ancestors had known. Humans were the most dangerous species in the galaxy. They always had been. They had just chosen to be kind for 30 years. "Your Majesty," Admiral Park Suyon said, walking onto the balcony, "the integration reports are ready for your review." Emperor Li Jung-ho turned to face her. 6 months ago, he had been a simple colonial administrator, managing farms and schools on a frontier world. Now he ruled an empire that spanned the entire galaxy. "How many species have fully accepted the new order?" he asked. 31 out of 47, Admiral Park replied. "The species that stayed neutral during the war have been easy to work with. They remember the old stories about human expansion and want to avoid being conquered. What about the ones who attacked our colonies? That's more complicated. The Kelvari, Thessians, and 8 other species are struggling with the transition. Their people cannot understand how humans went from peaceful helpers to unstoppable conquerors so quickly." Emperor Li nodded. It was a fair question. Even he sometimes wondered how humanity had changed so fast. But then he remembered New Sol Colony and 2 million dead civilians, and the answer became clear. "They mistake the mask for the face," he said. "We wore the mask of peace for 30 years. When they attacked our children, they forced us to show them our real face." Director Kim Hyun-woo arrived with his daily report on alien re-education programs. For 6 months, he had been teaching defeated alien species about human history and culture, but not the peaceful version they had known before. "Director, how are the lessons going?" Emperor Li asked. "Very well, Your Majesty. The aliens are learning about the Terran Empire, the Andromedan Wars, and the conquest of the Rigel sector. They're beginning to understand that humans have always been warriors. The peace was in choice, not a weakness." Director Kim showed the Emperor recordings from alien classrooms. Young Kelvari, Thessians, and Mokari sat in rows, watching videos of human military campaigns from centuries past. Their teachers explained how humans had conquered dozens of worlds using tactics and weapons that seemed impossible. "What do they think about this history?" Emperor Li asked. "They're terrified and fascinated at the same time. Many young aliens are asking why humans ever stopped conquering if they were so good at it. And what do you tell them? The truth, that humans got tired of war and wanted to try something different. We wanted to see if we could build a peaceful civilization alongside other species. It was a noble experiment that lasted 30 years. Emperor Li looked at another report. And now? Now they understand that peace was a gift we gave them, not a sign of weakness. When they destroyed New Sol Colony, they returned our gift with blood. So we returned to what we do best. Ambassador Yu Seong-hwan managed diplomatic relations in the new human galactic empire. Every week, he met with representatives from different alien species to discuss their integration into human civilization. "Ambassador, what do the alien leaders say about our rule?" Emperor Li asked. "They have mixed feelings, Your Majesty. Some are grateful that we allow them to keep their cultures and governments as long as they follow human law. Others resent being conquered. What about the species that attacked us directly?" Ambassador Yu's expression grew serious. "They understand that they are lucky to still exist. We could have used the soul fire weapons to destroy their homeworlds. Instead, we only eliminated their military forces and replaced their governments. The new system was both simple and effective. Humans ruled the galaxy, but they did not micromanage every alien world. Species that had remained neutral during the war kept most of their independence. They just had to follow human laws and accept human guidance on major decisions. Species that had attacked human colonies faced stricter control. Their military forces were permanently disbanded. Their governments were replaced with human-supervised councils. They could keep their cultures and traditions, but they could never again threaten human civilians. Emperor Li walked through the memorial gardens that had been built where New Sol Colony once stood. 2 million names were carved into black stone walls. At the center stood a statue of a human family, parents holding their children, looking up at the stars with hope and trust. The inscription at the base read, "Here lies proof that humanity's greatest weakness was believing others shared our capacity for mercy. Here begins the age when we embrace our strength instead." Captain Bei Suna, now serving as the memorial's guardian, joined the Emperor as he read the names. She had been one of the few survivors of the massacre, and she made sure the galaxy never forgot what had happened here. "Your Majesty, we have visitors today," she said. "A group of young Kelvari who want to understand why their government attacked this place. What do you tell them?" "I tell them about the children who died here, about the families who were growing food and making art when the Kelvari fleets arrived, about how this colony sent surrender signals and was destroyed anyway." Captain Bei pointed to a section of the memorial where children's names were listed. "I tell them that these were not soldiers or threats. They were just children who loved their parents and wanted to see the stars." The young Kelvari visitors listened with shame and horror. Many of them cried when they learned the details of what their military had done. They had been told that humans were dangerous colonizers who needed to be stopped. They had not been told about the schools, hospitals, and farms that were destroyed. "Do they understand now?" Emperor Li asked. "Yes, Your Majesty. They understand that their leaders lied to them. They understand that humans only became dangerous after being betrayed, and they understand that mercy is not the same as weakness." Dr. Song Yunji continued her research, but now her work focused on peaceful applications of human technology. The soulfire weapons remained in place around alien homeworlds, but they were no longer needed. The threat of their existence was enough to maintain order. The Council of Alien Representatives has requested a demonstration of human terraforming technology," her assistant reported. "They want to see if we can help restore worlds damaged during the war." Dr. Song smiled. "Of course, we are still the same species that spent 30 years helping others. We just won't allow anyone to mistake that help for weakness again." The human galactic empire was not like the old Terran empire that had conquered worlds through fear and oppression. This new empire was built on respect earned through strength. Aliens followed human leadership because they understood what would happen if they did not. But humans also remembered their peaceful nature. They built new schools, hospitals, and research stations throughout the galaxy. They shared their technology and knowledge freely with species that proved trustworthy. They even allowed aliens to serve in the imperial government as long as they swore loyalty to human authority. Emperor Li received a final report from Admiral Park Suyan. "Your Majesty, the last rebel cell has been eliminated. The galaxy is now completely under human control. Any casualties on our side?" "None, Your Majesty. The rebels surrendered when they realized they were fighting against humans who had survived the Battle of Nexus Station." Emperor Li nodded. The Battle of Nexus Station had become legendary throughout the galaxy. Alien children learned about it in school as an example of what happened when anyone threatened human civilians. Human children learned about it as a reminder of their species' true nature. "Admiral, what do our intelligence reports say about alien sentiment toward human rule?" "Most aliens accept it as natural and inevitable. They remember that humans ruled much of the galaxy before, and they understand that we are better at it than anyone else. The younger generation especially seems comfortable with human leadership. And the older aliens who remember the peaceful years? They are sad that the peace ended, but they understand why it had to end. Many of them say they wish their leaders had been smarter about not betraying human trust." As the sun set over Earth, Emperor Li thought about the future. Humanity now controlled the largest empire in galactic history. They had achieved this, not through decades of war, but through 6 months of demonstrating their true capabilities. The galaxy was peaceful again, but it was a different kind of peace. It was not the peace of trust and cooperation that humans had tried to build for 30 years. It was the peace of absolute human superiority, backed by weapons that could destroy stars and fleets that could appear anywhere in the galaxy within hours. "Your Majesty," Ambassador Yu said, joining him on the balcony, "the alien representatives are asking if humans will ever return to the old ways of diplomacy and cooperation." Emperor Li looked up at the stars that now belonged to his species. "Tell them this. We tried cooperation, and it ended with the murder of our children. We will never make that mistake again."